This is Chris the Who here. Another fireside chat. It's nice and chilly here in middle Georgia. This fire feels good. This piping hot coffee feels good. Something that I was going to touch base with, some things that I wish that I had knew when I got started on YouTube is, it seems so scary. Nobody wants to be embarrassed. Nobody wants to be hurt. Nobody wants to people to laugh at them. But the thing is you got to get started somewhere. Yeah, your stuff at first is going to be goofy. There's a lot of my stuff that's goofy. Some of it still is goofy. But you got to start somewhere. So understand that when you're getting started, your stuff is going to be goofy. You're going to make a lot of videos. If you're like most people, like me, you bounce around between different things, and you start to notice what gets views, what gets attention, what gets likes, and you concentrate on that. Another thing that, you're going to have to kind of develop a thick skin, but you're going to get some, you got to understand that you're talking to tens of thousands of different people from all walks of life. They all think differently. They all were raised differently. They all have different personalities. You're going to get some weird comments. You're going to get some negative comments. You're going to get some comments that are going to hurt your feelings and make you walk around scratching your head, wondering how somebody could talk to somebody that way. But the thing is you're going to get some wackadoodles. You need to be a little bit careful about giving out too much personal information. You'll have some people that'll just flat out ask, where do you live? And it makes you wonder why. I don't entertain that. I don't answer it. If somebody wants to know where I live, either I delete it or I just keep going right on past it. Because, unless we know each other on a personal basis or we've known each other for a very long time, it's none of your business where I live. Another thing that people are scared and nervous about is making videos on their phone. Some of the most popular YouTube influencers, YouTubers out there make videos on their phones. I've had more than one because I ask questions. I go to the people that have been doing it a long time, that have been making a lot of videos, that have a lot of likes, a lot of views, that have tons of subscribers. I go to them and I ask questions, and 99% of them are more than happy to answer your questions. And most of them told me that just a few short years ago that especially the iPhones, the camera and the lenses that are on them are better than high dollar cameras were 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. So they tell me that the new iPhones, like I'm videoing you on right now, it's a little grainy, but it's dark here, so it is what it is. But don't worry about thinking that you've got to run out right away and get the latest, greatest camera and spend thousands of dollars on equipment, and that you've got to have your lighting exactly right. I found that a lot of people are more interested in content than they are how professional your videos are. I've had so many messages and comments where people appreciate that I'm real. They appreciate that I'm just who I am, that I just talk to you like I'm talking to a friend. they're not interested in my professional editing. In fact, I've had a lot of people tell me, you know, please don't start editing to the point to where it looks like, you know, you've got a TV show and not a YouTube channel. That what we appreciate is you and your simplicity and your reality. So my point is don't think that you got to run out and buy the latest greatest camera and the latest greatest microphone. That's one of the few things that I think you could invest in if you want to, is a good microphone. I've been looking at several, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna get one. They're not super expensive, but they do help. I think they help. I think they help a lot. Another thing that I wished that I had known when I got started was there are so many people out there that are willing to help you and give you advice, but you've got to ask. I mean, you know, I've had people ask me, you know, and the thing is most YouTubers are not going to. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm adding some logs to the fire that fell out, putting them back in. Another thing I think is that there's so many YouTubers out there that are willing to help you if you'll just ask, but they're not going to just give you unsolicited, unneeded, unasked, I should say, advice. I know sometimes people will say things to me, and I guess maybe they're trying to be helpful. Sometimes I think they're just trying to be mean. And you know, I think, well, I didn't ask you that. I didn't. So, you know, why are you answering a question that wasn't asked? But if you ask me, give me a chance to roll it around in my head and think about it. I love answering questions, and I love helping people. And that's the way a lot of YouTubers are. You know, just reach out. Ask questions. If you're confused, if you're wondering what's going on, ask people. Another thing is, if you don't have the personality of speaking to people in public, talking to people, I think that's something that you got to work on. There are some videos that I talk to people, and that's something that you've got to get used to, is walking up, speaking to random people, asking random questions, and not being afraid to do it. You know, you're going to get some that are going to be mean and say no. You're going to get a lot that'll say yes. You're going to get a lot that are going to look at you like you got three heads and they're totally confused, because a lot of people don't understand what YouTube is. But you got to develop a thick skin and get used to just whatever your content is and whatever it is you're doing. It's interesting to walk up and talk to people in public, so you got to get used to that. That was one of my issues and one of my problems, is getting used to walking up to random people and talking, asking, hey, you know, I'm doing a YouTube video on this or that. Can I talk to you for a minute? You know, can I ask you a few questions? Do you mind being on YouTube? And, you know, a lot of them will look at you like they don't know what to say. They're confused. They're afraid to say yes, but they don't want to say no. So that's one of the things that you've got to get used to. And another thing is try to talk about things that you're passionate about. Things that you know, like me, for instance. I've married 24 years, been separated 6 months, had a wonderful marriage. The separation and the preparation for the divorce has not been good. It's been very painful. It's been very hurtful. It's been raw and it's been real. That's something that I can give a lot of advice on. I've made mistakes. I've seen what works. I've seen what doesn't work. I've been, through necessity, forced to live in a camper. It's a nice camper, but it is a camper. I lived before in a 3-story house. We owned a 3-story house. It had 3 full bathrooms, 4 bedrooms, a swimming pool. At one time there was a pool house. We owned a land next to us. So I was used to living in a very, very big, nice place. Not that whatever I'm living at is not nice, but in a very big, nice place. And now I'm living in something that is about the size of my former dining room. So I can give a lot of advice, and I'm very passionate about living in the camper. There's a lot of things that I've learned. When we first got here, me and my wife sold our house. We had plans to do a lot of traveling at the time, and when we first got here, we were lost. We had no idea what to do. I mean, we didn't know how to empty. We didn't know how to hook up the sewage tanks and the power, and we certainly didn't know how to empty the sewage tanks and the power, and we didn't know that you have to put a lot of water in the sewage tanks so that they won't get clogged up, and there were just 1,000,001 other things that we just didn't know about. So what did? We came to YouTube, and we started looking, and we started asking questions. We asked questions around the campground, but we got more advice on YouTube itself. So try to talk about things that you're passionate about, that you know about, that is real to you in your heart, because people can tell. I mean, a lot of people are not liking this AI, and a lot of people don't like it when somebody tries to talk about something that they're just not passionate about, and it's obvious that they have no clue what they're talking about. That's no fun. It's a lot of fun whenever you're watching somebody, because I watch YouTube too. I watch a lot of YouTube. And I'm like the rest of you. It's a ton of fun to watch videos where the person doing the video knows what they're talking about. They're passionate about what they're talking about. It just makes it really interesting, and you learn things. You learn things. You know, the whole entire video, your videos that you make, the whole video is not going to be super informative. When you do a video, and when I watch a video, I get a few nuggets of real good information out of each one, and then the rest of it is just entertaining. So do videos that you know something about, and on a subject that you're passionate about, and this will resonate with people. They'll want to watch more of it. Y'all have a great night. I'm fixing to refill my coffee, get it super piping hot again. I'm going to sit out here and enjoy this fire, and I'm going to watch some of my favorite YouTube influencers. Y'all have a great night.